If I say jelly-filled donut and use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan in the rain, you probably know what I'm referring to. It's Pokemon. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I won't just be drawing Pokemon. I'll transform them into mechanical designs. So, just a disclaimer, I am not a professional concept artist, and I'll try my best to create something, something a little bit similar. So I got this inspiration from an old post a while back, which I think I saw on 9gag, the app of the three Kanto starters in their mecha forms, which I find really cool. Also, I finally got a new microphone, so no more crusty audio. So, what do you guys think? Now back to the video. There are currently over 1,000 Pokemon in the national dex. Last time I played, there were only around 600. Instead of me having to pick any number of those, I'll just spin the wheel of Pokemon. Let's see what I get.
Gut, gut, gut. Holt euch, Chat, da wurde verweist für den Miauen Uwu. Oh, please, something crazy!
Wow, turtle. Okay, so this is actually a Pokemon that I recognize. I believe you can get this from a fossil back in the 5th generation. So starting off, I tried using the same paper texture I use for my Inktober videos, along with the sketch. But now when I think of mecha, I think of metal, robustness, and LEDs or any of the futuristic designs. So instead of having round eyes, I try to adopt more of a small, visor-like design. I tried making the arms, or flippers in this case, have hinges, but I decided to remove them in the end. Because you know how complex it would look from different angles. And in a functional way, it would probably look a little bit awkward. I also make Caracosta in different angles, since of course it's kind of like a character sheet or concept art, something like that. I also showcased where the missiles would come from. I modified its shell so that it could house those missiles. Now I added hints of LED and lighting for a more futuristic look. I initially wanted to scrap the entire idea because I thought the rendering looked terrible at the time. Then I remembered to trust the process. Once I'm already quite deep into the process, it will be wasteful to just abandon it there. When it comes to digital art, I would only abandon it if it's early in the process. Well, I actually got Manectric before Caracosta, and during the sketching phase, I didn't like how it turned out, so I decided to scrap it. In contrast, this Anna fan art I made in the style of Valorant took way too long in the early rendering phase. I almost wanted to give up, but in the end, I decided to persevere and trust the process. So if you're having trouble with an art piece, try to ask for feedback or advice from the art community, whether it's from Discord, Twitter, or someone you personally know. Other people could see the mistakes you couldn't see, since they have a more fresh perspective. For the main body here, I try to emphasize the metallic and chrome texture. For an in-depth tutorial on shading metal, you can check out my video here. As for the shell, or carapace in this case, I tried to complement the reflective aspect of the main body by having it more of a matte-like texture. I like to hide and unhide layers to see which parts are missing. I also tried lowering the opacity of the sketch layer to see which details in rendering I've missed. Then for the missiles. As for the smoke, I made sure it had a trail to show where the missiles come from. In this case, the shell. We now can move on to the details of the LEDs for this. And for that, I used a pen tool with an off-white color and painted the inner part of the LED using only one stroke. Then I would add a separate layer with the overlay blending option and use a saturated color with an airbrush tool to create that glowing effect. And finally, for the font. I searched for a futuristic font and picked the one I liked. which is Airstrike. You can get it on thefont.com. Link in the description. And there you go. I decided to not use any line art since I found the sketch to be good enough for the concept. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.